But speaking of which, though, we are now in the game after eating your drinks. There you go.
Yes, and drinking your
We're now
snack.
in the game, and first set of bands,
Yes.
same set of Pokemon. Miraidon, Durledge, not surprising.
Yeah, it's very standard here. These set of Pokemon are really strong and are hyper prioritized each and every single time for the purple side and orange side selection here. But Umbreon will be open, or Shifu and the likes will be open as well. This can be the opportunity for Elevate to pick them up.
Mm-hmm. And here you go. Again, as you have mentioned, they being the first one, right? They being the first one to pick, they definitely have the advantage to pick them up. There you go. The Umbreon is going to be the first one into the fray for Elevate. Now, what's going to be the answer here for ONIC Rise? It is going to be the Urshifu. Obviously, if you don't get the Urshifu first, then it'll be stolen away by the second team.
Yeah, and now the second option could be, supporter would be really strong. Elevate could pick up the Clefable, and I think they could leave the supporter down into the last rotation. Just opt to go for the likes of Miraidon or Mewtwo Y to be that stronghold in terms of damage, so that it's already good. But this is also good. If they want to save up more of their damage dealers and more of their bruisers into the front line, they could pick up the Clefable first and bring in that mystery later on.
And there you have it. As you have mentioned, they're going to be bringing in the Fable. Pretty sure it's going to be handled here by Absent. With running the what do you call it, like Moonlight and Gravity, just to give a bit of like a hindrances. Slowing down the opponent, especially right now. With that, Ear, with that of the Unite move. Sorry, with that or Shifu, and of course the Garchomp. They require themselves to really get in on the middle, the center of the team fight, and Gravity will definitely provide a lot of utility in this type of Elevate, allowing other Pokemon to just attack from the back lane, or maybe even attack them from the front.
Here's the thing, ONIC Rise, their comp could really use a Miraidon or something that could deal enough damage. That is shocking. Like going for the Venusaur instead, because they have a lot of options. Miraidon has seen a lot. Well, it's banned away, of course, but they need these hyper huge damage potential Pokemon that could deal a huge amount of damage. And Venusaur being locked in here expectedly would go for the likes of the Solar Beam instead for that poke damage.
I don't think so.
They're going for an all-in bruiser type of composition with that sustain.
Dude, I think they are going to be going in for the Petal Dance here. Because this is going to be the bruiser kind of like Venusaur, knowing the fact that there's the Blissey. We have to remember that the Blissey and the Venusaur has been quite a composition, the duo that has been working quite well, not only for not only for us but for everyone in the world. Blissey and Blissey and Venusaur pairing, with the Petal Dance and Giga Drain, along with the Bliss assistance as well, ensuring that this Venusaur would be surviving as much as possible, allowing Garchomp and Urshifu to get a bit of a breathing room to attack down Elevate. And of course we have a cross-sell with that of the Raktoon, which will isolate everyone.
We'll see what ONIC Rise is going to do here, but surely these two teams are going to put their very best and become the very best here in this series, as they need those wins. So far, Elevate is looking for their first, or well, at least their second series win out from week number 1. And as for ONIC Rise, they will be able.
Okay. What, you think we're going to let all the timer go down before we go back into the game? No, we're already in the game. We're here. We're back. This is game number 1 of Elevate and ONIC Rise. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now back in the Pokemon Unite Asia Champions League 2025.
Yeah, Elevate going in. Once again, we talked about their comp already, but just a recall from what happened prior. It is Umbreon, Clefable, Blaziken, Machamp, and Espeon for the side of Elevate. And for ONIC Rise, it will be the Blissey or Shifu, Garchomp, Crustle, and Venusaur.
Right, and here you go, ladies and gentlemen. No more delays, no more delay into the side of Elevate. Everyone is getting out of their bases at the same time, and we might be able to see them have a bit of a change into the terms of their play style here, not allowing ONIC Rise to catch up or at least get a lead immediately from the get-go.
Yeah, so far it's just trade backs of points back and forth. Elevate getting 12, ONIC Rise just very minute early game stuff. And these these players really prioritizing getting a lot of these points in as much as possible to gain experience. At the same time, gain a little bit of points on their end because for the new viewers and new players watching at home, once you dunk points, you also gain XP.
Right. And at the same time, they recover some HP, very minimal, but still.
Yeah, yeah. And it still really counts when it matters, especially these early game aggression coming in from both sides. But from what we have mentioned, Elevate will have that better lead in terms of that level 4, that EVs that will
Mhm.
evolve with Espeon and Umbreon. For the side of ONIC Rise, they still need a bit of XP for Venusaur to be reached for that final evolution alongside with Garchomp. So it will be a little bit more of that patience game for ONIC Rise compared to Elevate.
Right, and here we have though, like the first set of bursts into that of the central area is going to be taken out here, mostly by that of Onyx Rise. But Elevate here, making sure that Onyx Rise won't be able to get their momentum going into this match. And look at this though, Elevate running in their running a bit of an overextension here as they try to get away from Onyx Rise.
Yeah, look at Top Hat. They're going for a bit of an aggression there, dunking points. That's 30 points for Shifu. And that poke coming through from Venusaur gains them a KO.
Oh, for sure. But now Onyx Rise currently in a bit of a lead here in terms of XP and points as well. Goodbye is going to be able to take down the Combusken as well down in the central area. But here you go, though. Onyx Rise trying to get away here with Luna, with that of the Crustle, with that of Strawberry on top of its back. But there you have it, though. Sludge Bomb into that of the Solar Beam is going to be the play of the game here for that of Onyx Rise with the Venusaur. But here, we're going to have the first set of objectives. Reggie Lucky and Reggie Bottoms now up.
Yeah, and Onyx Rise will be more leaning towards Regieleki to put down that pressure. Or Shifu getting one KO.
Eeyore definitely with that amazing Unite move though, with the even fix into the Wicked Blow, making sure that they are able to take down Blank in the process, making sure that they are able to widen the gap that they have against that of Elevate, and just essentially taking it up for themselves. And here you go, Reggie like is going to be soloed here by that of the Bite, and now has been secured by Onyx Price, and now just running down bottom to help down their team essentially to get a bit of a team fight once again. Tempest currently jailed into that of Rock 2.
And that is really good coming for the side of Onyx Rise. If you're looking at the levels, a massive lead already for, but still 34 points as a reserve to dunk them later down the road. So Onyx Rise is in a very good state at this stage of the game, having a 50-point lead up against Elevate. And so far, Elevate has yet to still find a massive advantage, still has yet to find a massive team fight in their favor.
Wow, now look at this though. Tempest running not the foul play, but instead a mean look. Definitely isolation is going to be the play of the game here as
Massive
they just
damage.
use it on the Urshifu, not being able to get away. I mean, the only reason that you can actually get away is if you, I believe, one of the only two ways is to get a full heal away from that, but you have to really time it right and read it off of your opponent. But look at that though. Onyx Rise is going to be able to punish them down. There's going to be 3 KO in the process. Onyx Rise rising up once again, but Lewis though, Tiger Slayer is going to pop up, but not going to be enough to take down Ilona, and just like that, they were forced to go away as Onyx Rise destroys the first score goal down bottom.
Really incredible movement coming from Onyx Rise. They have sacrificed Urshifu from that prior fight, but after that, they were able to eliminate 3 players from Elevate, and that enabled them to get the tier 1 goal zone in bottom. Now, Elevate loses their Blaziken.
There you have it, like Elevate still at 96 points, and Onyx Rise currently has 94, sorry, 90, whatever, 90 plus points advantage into that of, sorry, no, 104, there you go, 104, no, actually, never mind, I'm not going to do my math, we're just going to wait for the point.
You were right already, and you made it wrong.
Was I?
It's like 98-point advantage for Onyx.
98-point advantage. There you go. Thank you very much. There you go. Never mind though. Elevate is going to be able to secure that Reggie Ice for themselves, and Disengage is going to be the play of the game here, as they don't want to force things up against Onyx Rise, because Onyx Rise already has a bit of an advantage instead of a team fight, and Elevate just wants to get those XPs up, and just like that, at the same time, not only were they able to secure that Reggie Ice, but also securing that Reggie Lucky up top.
Yeah, Reggie Alecki will be pushing on the tier 2. That's good response. Coming from ONIC Rise, going for the Garchomp defense on tier 2. They do not want to give that 20 points instant for Elevate. However, ONIC Rise, their defense will shatter in the bottom path. ONIC Rise has to go for the defense.
Verdant Anger is going to be a use here into that of the Sword, being still not going to be a lot here, but they are able to secure that Machamp KO. Milo is going to be used up here as well into that of the Urshifu, but not going to be enough to take them all up. Ilna trying to get away, but is it going to be? X Scissors going to be played here into the Milo, not allowing it to escape, but they are able to answer back up with that of the Blaziken KO. And of course, there's also the Umbreon as well, but are they going to be able to take down Lewis as well? Let's find out. Limited Outrage going to be popped up as well. 3v1 situation, obviously going to outnumber Lewis at that moment. ONIC Rise still dominating the game.
Yeah, a lot of points being stacked upon as well. So later on, I believe when it comes to that final minute before Rayquaza comes up, if Regieleki will be open, ONIC Rise will have that priority as well. Let's see what they would do here, because Elevate has still yet to take the tier 1 goal zone in
Right.
the bottom path. And there's no more time for Regieleki to come back up. So Reggie buff, bottom Reggie would be the next one. So objective being taken down by ONIC Rise. They want it and they needed to gain that edge up against Elevate and not give them any breathing room to gain the better lead.
Yeah, I mean, like, 7 seconds is not gonna be. It's definitely not gonna be enough for anyone to take down the Reggie Lecky. So as you have mentioned, it is just going to be the Reggie bottom going to be the one that's uh, the priority here before that of the Rayquaza. But knowing this, Elevate is now well, they're actually they want to burst down this Reggie Alecki, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
5 seconds on the clock. But they're able to go for it, which is really good.
Yes, they
for
will.
the
There we
game.
go.
With 2 seconds still having that leeway, but ONIC Rise going to start down the
Rayquaza's
Rayquaza.
already down though. That's the thing. That's what they were trying to prevent, though. That's what they don't want to happen. They were focused too much to Reggie Alecki. Onyx was able to see that, and they just sacrificed the Rayquaza into Onyx, allowing them to burst it out, and now they are just scoring in point.
And the extra problem as well is that ONIC Rise got the Regirock, so it's much more difficult
Right.
for Elevate to be able to at least deny the Rayquaza and get a better position. ONIC Rise really had everything in their favor for that Rayquaza objective. No one was going to contest them. They had the Regirock. Even if Elevate was able to come through at the last second, they had enough damage from Urshifu, from Garchomp, and Venusaur.
Right now, though, they have a 194
That.
lead against that of Elevate, and still a minute left. Though they still have a chance here to catch up into Onyx Rise, possibly, but it's going to be a tall order for them because Onyx Rise. Everyone is still alive here, still can defend their score goals, and I don't think they can score in down the third tier tower.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying. ONIC Rise, though, with a huge defense. Going for the Rock Tomb as well. Isolated, Elevate stuck in the tier 2 goal zone. And ONIC Rise just looking for the eliminations. Triple KO already.
Yeah, Zuri, and with that being said, 3v2 situation here, Miva being the one with the Blaze again, I don't think it's gonna be. Oh!
Fancy footwork there coming in from Miva, but that will not save you. And ONIC Rise with a complete stronghold defense on the tier 2 goal zone. Elevate will have to bow their knees here in game number 1 as ONIC Rise dominates the very first game.
Dude, it's they already know, right? They already know that they're currently on the losing end. They are the disadvantage, but man, even showing us what they can do with the Blaziken at the very last moment is just a fantastic showing of of micro and macro skills into that of the Pokemon. So despite that, I think Elevate can still come back from this. It's going into 2 again. This is the final match of the day. It is ONIC Rise versus Elevate. Now heading into game number 2, Miraidon and Charlotte still going to be banned here. It's actually I think like Charlotte would have been like a very good pick here for Elevate, but they are going to be the ones banning the Blaziken, of which they have used earlier.
Yeah, Urshifu could be the priority here by Elevate. If ONIC Rise, if it's open, it could
Ooh.
be the Urshifu or the Umbreon or the Leafeon. These are some of the options that Elevate has used in the past that it can still pick up this time around for the second game. However, they have to be wary of what they're gonna leave open for ONIC Rise for those
Mm.
two picks in the first rotation.
Right. I mean, that is the that is the option that you are left with, right? If you are going in for the if you're on the first pick as well. So, not being able to pick, not being able to have a priority pick will, you know, leave those Pokemon open. But as you can see as well, Onyx Rise here, going in for that of the Umbreon and the Mimikyu as well, and Elevate is the one going to be taking in the Leafeon and the Urshifu.
Yeah, fantastic series of Pokemon so far. For ONIC Rise, they already have the double lockdown. What they need now would be that damage coming through for the rest of the rotations, along with a potential defender as well, because Umbreon cannot sustain. It's not really that defender that could have that much HP and be the sponge for the team, so they need something else to be that alternative. Darkrai, woo!
Yeah,
Chill
no,
for,
no, it's
chill for a bit, chill for a bit. But for the side of Elevate, I think they're already in a good spot as well, expectedly. They could do the likes of Slowbro and Mamoswine, as I'm about to mention as well, because they still need that front line.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I mean, man, like Onyx Rise, you're going in for the double defender, that of the Trevenant, and of course that of the what do you call this, the Umbreon, right? It just allows them to. This might perhaps be a foul play, Umbreon here for Onyx Rise, just because of the fact that there's already the Trevenant, which can essentially reposition everyone in line for their back laner. Essentially, that is going to be the Pikachu, not a Gardevoir. I would have really liked the Gardevoir pick, especially that it is one of the Pokemon that has been buffed this patch all across the board, by the way. But Pikachu also works out pretty well, and we have to remember as well. There's also the Mimikyu, although it is just like a single targeted kind of like attacker. The Pikachu can do some things here to help down this Mimikyu.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Right? I was also thinking the same thing. I was thinking about Gardevoir being a better fit, because the thing about their composition, it's very frontline centric type of comp. They have the Umbreon, they have the Mimikyu, and they also have the Trevenant. So these three, yes, they have enough damage, with Mimikyu being that bruiser, being that frontline in the
Right.
central area, but they're still lacking that burst damage. Right? They're
Yeah,
still
anyway, at the same
lacking
time,
on.
right, like it's sorry, I still think like yes, they do have a lot of disruption. They do have like repositioning, crowd control, but for the most part, Mimikyu is a single targeted Pokemon. In comparison to like the Pikachu is their I guess going to be their AOE kind of attacker from the back lanes. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that could be something that Onyx Rise could have done. But Pikachu still fits in pretty well. Still
Right.
complements
Oh
the
yeah.
composition just because you have that three frontliners and Dodrio being in front as well as a speedster. Pikachu can be that one Pokemon that can support in terms of that thunderstorm, being that utility,
Right.
being that support Pikachu instead for Onyx Rise as more of that damage dealer instead of having that sustained comparison to Elevate on having the Clefable.
Right, and they have a lot of crowd control, as we have mentioned, which essentially, if they can catch down Elevate, it doesn't really matter if they don't have that much of an AOE damage. They have AOE crowd control, which will not allow them to move anyway. So, it's we can definitely see how Onyx Rise is going to be using their Pokemon this time around. But for Elevate, though, we have the Leafeon, Clefable, Urshifu, Slowbro, and Mew. By the way, first time that we're going to be seeing Slowbro for today, right? Or for the tournament, for day number 2. Going to be the first time we're going to be seeing a Slowbro here. And honestly, I am liking Elevate's composition this time around, this team comp, as it is really balanced. They have the Bruiser, they have they have the Sponge, and they also have the backlane damage as well in comparison to Onyx Rise's composition.
Yeah, it's pretty much like Onyx Rise going for like an all-in comp, and
Mhm.
Elevate is a bit more balanced, right? Can
Mhm.
play in like a bit of front to back, can
Right.
play a bit more relaxed with Mew and Leafeon putting out poke damages into the back lines, and then you also have Slowbro and Urshifu to be the dependency to set up the place. So this is the comparison that we can have coming down into game number 2.
Right, and here we have though Onyx Rise, Iluna rather, going into
Sonic Rise, we're jumping into the long distance. We're jumping into game 3 for this series.
and there we have it. I think we are now heading to the game. There we go. Yeah. Everything is up while we are talking. They've already set up everything. It is going to be Elevate and Onyx Christ. Game number two here, ladies and gentlemen, and all trainers alike. Same comps as they chose for the Sakben draft.
Yeah, I mean it's still strong. I don't even if Elevate is just gonna speak like you know what it's a mispick or whatever. I don't think it's a mispick because this
I don't think so.
composition is actually quite good for the side of Elevate, but thankfully enough it's not a mispick. But as of now, we're talking about how Onyx Rise really just have that potential. Mimikyu is just so strong currently in how the rotations are going for in Pokemon selections.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I mean, going here though, it's still an early game. Still poking each other out here. But Elevate the thing is here though, like the moment that they get their evolution, I think they would be ready and prepared for whatever Onyx Rise would be able to throw up against them. But Onyx Rise here, I think the win comp here is if they could take them out, take out Elevate one by one, pick them off one by one. Because if they are gonna be fighting off in a team fight, I think Elevate definitely would have the advantage against Onyx Rise.
Yeah, and now Onyx Rise still fighting for the lane birds against Elevate. They really want it because, of course, it gives you a lot of XP, it gives you a lot of points, but Elevate has their own point of view. They're going in for Miva on top pad and getting those points in.
There you have it. Here you go. Solar Beam not going to be able to finish job here as couldn't. They couldn't reposition themselves for that of the Dodrio, but Dodrio still, roaming around, getting in some points, and just dunking in here and out for the side of Onyx Rise, which is definitely going to be the annoying one here for Elevate because they don't have much of a crowd control towards that of the roaming Dodrio. I mean, there is a slow bro. They can go in for I don't know, like telekinesis, but I don't think telekinesis is going to be the play of the game here. Or is
And
it?
now Elevate was able to get another KO of their own. It's pretty much like a 1-for-1, but Onyx Rise, right? The thing is, like, Elevate is constantly being united in terms of the rotations, in terms of the roams. And Onyx Rise just capitalizing onto it, constantly Mimikyu is hovering on top pad, is constantly putting in those points onto the top lane. So I think
Right.
expectedly these two teams are going to trade down these goal zones. Elevate and bottom pad, Onyx Rise on top.
Right. So it was telekinesis after all. So that's definitely the one that can, answer back into that of the retrieval. But as I say that, we do have some team fight going down bottom here. Onyx Rise, though, does have a bit of an advantage in terms of positioning. There you have it. Razor Blade can be pop up as well. Solar Beam not going to be able to hit Zoe here into that of the bottom path, allowing them to be able to get away just a bit. But the Rodrio, though, a little bit low here with Miva.
Yeah. And now the Reggies are coming up. Reggie Rock has appeared into the bottom pat. Onyx Rise going to deny it out of them and contest it with Mimikyu going for the Reggie lane.
There goes Triple Trample, going to try to take away this Reggie Rock, but unfortunately for them, a little bit too late here, but able
Oh,
to take away
that's
that.
huge.
And there you have it. That's, as you have mentioned, really huge for them. Going to be able to take on Leafeon and, of course, the Urshifu and the Clefable as well, leaving down the Mew and that of the Slowbro. But with that being alone, I don't think they're going to have a long time of a living for this time around in this team fight. And just like that, Onyx Rise here is going to be able to push forward, put in some points here. Going to be able to take down Illuna, though, but that's a very good trade, I'll say.
Yeah, I think it was the Trevenant who was able to reset up for Onyx Rise there into the bottom pad. But now Elevate defending tier 2 goals on top pad.
Right, and what I really like about here is that Mimikyu is not really an attacking Mimikyu, but rather more of a support utility Mimikyu. Gunning in not for the Shadow Sneak, as we usually see it as an attacker, but instead goes in for the Trick Room for a bit of a slow, basically like gravity right against the team of Elevate. So really amazing stuff here for both of the teams. But as of the moment, Onyx Rise does have the advantage, getting in a bit of a point here once again. 2 points is all that's left. When 40 points, getting in 38 points as an overcap into the first score goal down bottom.
A fantastic start there coming from Onyx Rise. We talked about utility into their composition. We talked about how layers are going to work here, and so far we are seeing it come into fruition. Onyx Rise utilizing the move set across the board for each and every single one, and then Pikachu would have that extra support damage as well. And so far, it has netted them up probably like a 160-point advantage so far up against Elevate, which is massive in 5 minutes.
No, for sure. I totally agree with you. But here you go, though. Zoe tried to seal it away, but ended up just staring into that actual gore. Sorry, no, it's Cavalier rather. Um, uh, Basically giving it away into that of the Urshifu. And now it seems as if we're gonna be seeing a bit of a trade here. ONIC is going to try to destroy or at least push into that bottom path as they take in the Reggie bottom, but at the same time, Elevate was able to take in the Reggie Elecki for them to be able to catch up just a little bit, if not as much as they want to off top.
Yeah, and they're just giving it away. They understand that they have that point trades into the bottom path, so it was
Mhm.
really good already, and they had the red eye. So coming forward, they're going to look for those KOs. They're going to look for those eliminations. They have the
Mhm.
advantage.
And here you go, a bit of a skirmish here down bottom. Moonlight has to be pop up into the Thunderstone as well. Going to be able to take on the Urshifu and the Slowbro as well. No more is there going to be anyone to dish out the damage for Elevate, but this is a time that they have to disengage as well because a little bit more would be overextension and they would be punished for it. And there you have it. Onyx Rise recognizes this and knows the fact that they have to go back just a bit.
Yeah, and now they are on a very good stage. You have Antichrist just playing. Don't do this, Zoe.
No. I think what Zoe is doing here is pretty good. They are getting them, hooking them up, and bringing them up to their teammates. Unfortunately, not all of them are there down bottom. Zoe needs some help here. It was already a good way to bait them out, but they needed the response here. Elevate is punishing them for not revolving, not answering not answering the call here for that of the Umbreon. And look at this right now.
Cut force.
Phantom Force is going to be popped up as well, putting down low HP instead of Elevate. Mimikyu going to be able to take down the Urshifu as well. Is there going to be another one here? Unfortunately, not going to be able to catch up because they went able to take him instead of the Shadow King.
Yeah, it's a bit less of an expectations for Antichrist. The
Mhm.
layering was not enough. It was not there. They're going for those isolated fights. That is the reason
Mhm.
why they were flushed away by Elevate and wiped quite a bit. But Antichrist still answered back. Just bought time there. Really important for Zoe to do that constantly and
Mhm.
just bait out Elevate. But now the Regis are coming back anytime soon. Reggie Lucky already available up top, but I feel like it's a priority on the Reggie bottom for the Rayquaza fight.
That was a very good idea, though. That was a very good idea coming from Joe to, bait them in. They took the bait, bring it to their teammates, but unfortunately, there was no response. So, man, that was actually quite great for Elevate to punish through, and they just got themselves a bit of a rubber band here in terms of XP. And I think even if they are currently in a deficit in terms of the points, they can for sure catch up in terms of the team fight against that of Onyx.
Yeah, now 2 minutes in, Rayquaza is now up into the map. And Elevate positioning themselves more towards the upper end of the central area and Antichrist on the bottom. But look at position of Mimikyu just waiting for the opportunity to go for a sneak attack in the back.
Right? And this potentially is the final Rayquaza fight as well. If Onyx will be able to take this one out for themselves, but Zoe here, Zoe again baiting down Elevate, trying to put them out of that Ray pit so that they can take them all out one by one.
And just look at Mimikyu. I'm still looking at it, and now Trevenant is stuck,
Illuminate got
isolated.
in. Oh my goodness, Telekinesis is going to be popping up as well into the slow beam, bounding them up. Physical Mirage is going to be popped up as well into the surf. But what's going to happen here? Moonlight Press is going to be popped up. There's going to be two down to the side of Elevate. No, 3-for-1 trade. Illness, the only casualty for Onyx Rise here thus far. But man, look at that. Lewis is the only one left here. Are they going to be able to seal away this with a slow, with a slower beam? I don't quite think so, as there is the Umbreon, right? Zoe here marking them down, allowing Onyx to freely take in this Rayquaza for themselves, and now they might as well have taken in this game for themselves, 2-0 against Elevate.
And that is the reason why we mentioned Onyx Rise. The positioning that they did there in Rayquaza was phenomenal. They were just waiting. We're in. Elevate commits. They will answer back and counter engage. And once that happens, they just stacked up in terms of their utility, and they just dominated that team fight and wiped out Elevate with only you, the last one standing. And Onyx Rise will now secure game 2.
Yeah, I mean, again, that is the win condition here for ONIC Rise, and they did phenomenally. And at the same time, it's I like the fact that they actually waited. I thought for sure, right? I thought for sure that well, Trevenant had a bit of a problem, right? Have a bit of a pinch there out of the Ray Pit, but they were really just waiting for that, even after getting used, telekinesis into that of the slow beam. But they were Onyx was able to respond back immediately afterwards, taking down Elevate, leaving Al Lewis behind as being the only one left here for Elevate. And with that being said, though, Onyx Rise, as we have mentioned, winning 2-0 against that of Elevate, uh, bringing them up into that of the leaderboards.
Yeah, and now with them taking that win, they are now on even